Every single human being on Earth is trapped in an invisible prison, except they don't know it exists. Today, we're revealing Eckhart Tolle's 7 mind-bending secrets that expose this hidden cage and offer a way out. These insights don't just shift your perspective, they redefine reality itself. And the final secret is the key that changes everything. Secret number 1, the illusion of time. Stop everything you're doing right now, just for 3 seconds. Pause, breathe, and notice this moment. Did your mind immediately rush to fill the space with thoughts about what's next, or what you should have done differently? This is the trap Eckhart Tolle calls the illusion of time. According to Tolle, the present moment is the only thing that truly exists. Past and future? They're nothing more than mental constructs. Think about it. When you recall a memory from years ago, it's happening now as a thought. When you anticipate tomorrow's challenges, where are they? In the form of imagination, right here in this moment. This realization is both simple and profound. Most of us live as if life is something waiting to begin later or something we've already left behind. Tolle explains that this mindset keeps us in a constant state of psychological tension. But when you focus entirely on the now, something shifts. Time no longer feels like a weight pulling you in opposite directions. It dissolves. Here's a challenge for you. As you listen to this, notice how your mind tries to escape this exact moment. Maybe it's distracting you with plans, judgments, or random thoughts. It's almost automatic, isn't it? But catching your mind in the act is the first step toward freeing yourself from this invisible prison. The illusion of time isn't just an abstract idea. It's the foundation of how we experience reality. By breaking free from it, you uncover a deeper layer of presence. One that changes how you live, think, and connect with the world. Secret number 2, the pain-body revelation. Have you ever felt consumed by a wave of negative emotions? Anger, fear, or despair? So overwhelming that it felt like you were no longer in control? This isn't just a fleeting mood. According to Eckhart Tolle, it's something much deeper, the pain body. The pain body is an energetic field made up of old emotional wounds, traumas, and unresolved experiences. It isn't just a part of your mind, it lives within you, waiting for triggers to reactivate it. When this happens, it can feel like you're being hijacked by your own emotions, leading to actions and thoughts that don't truly align with who you are. Picture this. A man who, after years of stress and heartbreak, finds himself constantly lashing out at loved ones over trivial matters. It's not the present moment fueling his reactions. It's the pain body. It's like carrying around a suitcase full of unprocessed pain that spills open at the worst times. The good news? Awareness is the key to loosening the grip of the pain body. The next time you feel a surge of negative emotion, pause and observe it without judgment. Ask yourself, is this reaction tied to the present situation, or is it the pain body at work? Tolle shares a life-changing insight here. The pain body cannot survive in the light of your conscious attention. When you observe it, you begin to detach from its influence. Over time, the power it holds over you diminishes. This isn't just theory, it's transformational in practice. By becoming aware of your pain body and how it operates, you reclaim your ability to respond to life instead of reacting to it. And in doing so, you begin to release the emotional baggage that's been weighing you down, often without you even realizing it. Start with a simple tip. The next time you feel a negative emotion swell, don't fight it or suppress it. Instead, silently acknowledge, this is the pain body. That moment of awareness alone is enough to begin dismantling its control over you. Secret number 3, the identity trap. Who are you truly? It's a question most of us never ask, and yet, it's the very question that can shatter the illusion holding us captive. Eckhart Tolle explains that much of our suffering stems from one fundamental misunderstanding. We confuse our true self with our story. Think about it. You carry an identity crafted by your past experiences, beliefs, roles, and labels. I'm a parent. I'm a professional. I'm a failure. I'm someone who was hurt, These stories define how you see yourself, but what happens when you strip them all away? If you weren't your job, your achievements, or even your memories, who would you be? Tolle offers a powerful exercise. Take a moment to observe your thoughts as if you were watching someone else's mind at work. Notice how one thought leads to another, creating a constant stream of commentary. Now ask yourself, who is observing these thoughts? That silent awareness behind the mental chatter, that's you. The real you. This concept is what Tolle calls the observer consciousness. It's the part of you that isn't defined by your story or ego. When you step into this state of awareness, you realize something life-changing. Your thoughts, emotions, and experiences don't define you. They're simply passing phenomena, like clouds drifting across the sky. Here's a liberating truth. The ego, the part of you clinging to your identity, feeds on attachment and fear, convinces you that without your story, you're nothing. But the reality is the opposite. When you let go of the false identities you've built, you uncover a deeper, unshakable sense of being. Take this as a challenge. The next time you feel stuck in a label or story, whether it's "I'm not good enough" or "I always fail," pause and ask, is this thought me, or is it something I'm observing? That moment of questioning creates space for transformation. The trap of identity is one of the greatest obstacles to freedom, but stepping out of it opens a doorway to profound inner peace. When you stop living as the story you've told yourself, you start living as the infinite awareness that you truly are. Secret number 4, the power of space. Your mind is like a cluttered room, filled with endless objects, thoughts, emotions, memories, and worries stacked on top of one another. Eckhart Tolle reveals that this mental clutter keeps you trapped, but there's a way to create order and clarity. It begins with understanding the power of space. When you walk into a chaotic room, what's the first thing you notice? The mess. But what often goes unnoticed is the empty space that exists around the mess, the space that allows the room to exist at all. Your mind operates in the same way. Beneath the clutter of constant thinking is a vast field of conscious awareness, the space that makes your thoughts possible. Here's a simple demonstration you can try right now. Close your eyes for a few moments and shift your focus away from your thoughts. Instead, direct your attention to the silence between them. That stillness, that's the space Eckhart Tolle speaks of. It's always there, but it's often drowned out by the noise of the mind. This inner space isn't just a mental break. It's a gateway to peace, clarity, and creativity. Think of highly successful or deeply calm individuals. They often seem to radiate a sense of ease, as if nothing can shake them. Tolle explains that this isn't luck or chance. It's because they've learned to access the space within themselves, creating room for conscious awareness to guide their actions instead of reactive thinking. The more you cultivate this awareness, the more your life begins to transform. Problems that once felt overwhelming start to dissolve, not because they vanish, but because you approach them from a place of stillness instead of chaos. Relationships improve, decisions become clearer, and you find yourself no longer rushing through life but fully experiencing it. Here's a hidden benefit of finding inner space. It enhances your ability to connect with others. When your mind is less cluttered, you're no longer caught up in your own narrative, which allows you to truly listen and empathize. This simple shift can strengthen relationships and deepen your sense of connection to the world around you. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what's here beyond the thoughts? That moment of awareness creates space, and in that space lies your freedom. Secret number 5, the surrender paradox. Most people spend their lives resisting what is. We fight circumstances, struggle against emotions, and battle with reality itself. But Eckhart Tolle introduces a counterintuitive truth. Fighting reality doesn't set you free. It's the very thing that creates suffering. The way out? Surrender. Now, surrender doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It's not about resigning yourself to a bad situation or letting life trample over you. Tolle explains that surrender is an active, conscious acceptance of the present moment, exactly as it is. It's the simple yet powerful act of saying, "This is what's here right now, and I'm at peace with it." Here's a story that illustrates this transformation. A woman had been stuck in a toxic work environment for years. Every day, she'd wake up dreading her job, trapped in a cycle of resentment and blame. One day, after discovering Tolle's teachings, she made a radical shift. Instead of resisting her situation, she chose to accept it fully. She stopped mentally fighting her circumstances and focused instead on how she could show up in the present moment. Within months, opportunities she hadn't seen before began to appear. New roles, unexpected connections, and, eventually, a completely different career path. Why does surrender work? It's because resistance consumes energy and clouds your perception. When you stop resisting, you free up that energy, allowing clarity and creative solutions to emerge. Ironically, surrender often brings the change you've been seeking, not because you forced it, but because you stopped trying to control what couldn't be controlled. A common misconception about surrender is that it makes you weak or passive. Tolle argues that the opposite is true. Surrender requires immense strength because it means letting go of your ego's need to fight and control. It's a choice to align with reality instead of resisting it, and that alignment gives you a sense of inner power that no external situation can take away. Here's something to try. The next time you're faced with a situation that feels unbearable, pause and ask yourself, what happens if I stop resisting this moment? You might notice an immediate shift. The tension softens, the mind quiets, and suddenly, there's space for new possibilities to arise. This is the paradox of surrender. The more you accept what is, the more life begins to flow in your favor. It's not about giving up. It's about stepping into a higher level of awareness where peace becomes your foundation, no matter what's happening around you. Secret number 6, the now revolution. What if one principle had the power to end all suffering? Eckhart Tolle teaches that this principle isn't just an idea, it's a revolution, and it begins with the now. The present moment is the only place where life truly happens. Everything else, regrets about the past or worries about the future, is simply a mental construct. But here's the shocking part. Most people spend their entire lives anywhere but the now. We live as though happiness, success, or peace exists in some distant future, just out of reach. Tolle calls this the great illusion, and breaking free from it is the key to true transformation. Science even backs this up. Studies show that people who are fully present in the moment report higher levels of happiness, even when their circumstances are challenging. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about rewiring the way your mind interacts with reality. When you're present, you're no longer caught in the endless cycle of reacting to what's already happened or anticipating what might come next. Instead, you respond to life with clarity and purpose. But how does this apply to your daily life? Tolle suggests beginning with relationships. Imagine being fully present during a conversation, listening without judgment, without thinking of what to say next. The connection deepens instantly because you're no longer relating to someone through the filter of your mind. You're meeting them in the now where all true connection happens. This principle also transforms how you approach challenges. Whether it's a difficult task at work or a personal struggle, being present removes the mental resistance that often makes problems feel bigger than they are. When you focus entirely on the now, you bring your full attention to the task at hand, making it far more manageable and even meaningful. Here's a practical tip to start your own now revolution. As you go about your day, pick one activity, whether it's drinking a cup of coffee, walking outside, or even washing dishes, and give it your full attention. Notice the sensations, the movements, the stillness behind the activity. This simple practice grounds you in the present and begins to shift your experience of reality. When you live in the now, life stops feeling like a race to the finish line. Instead, it becomes a series of rich, meaningful moments, each one an opportunity to connect with the essence of existence. This is the revolution Tolle speaks of, a profound shift that ends suffering and unlocks the limitless potential of presence. Secret number 7. The ultimate truth. Everything we've explored so far, time, the pain body, identity, inner space, surrender, and the power of now, leads to this final secret. And it's one that Eckhart Tolle calls the ultimate truth about consciousness and reality. Are you ready for it? Here it is. You are not a separate being experiencing life. You are life itself expressing itself in this moment. Consciousness isn't something you have, it's what you are. This revelation ties everything together because it dissolves the illusion of separation that keeps us trapped. We live as though we're isolated, navigating life as individuals defined by our thoughts, roles, and stories. But the deeper reality is that there is no you and life. There's only life unfolding, and you are that unfolding. Consider this. When you feel a deep sense of peace or joy, where does it come from? Is it something you acquire, or is it something that arises naturally when your mind becomes still? Tolle explains that these moments of stillness reveal your true essence, pure, unconditioned consciousness. This is why nothing external, no amount of success, possessions, or relationships can ever truly satisfy you. What you're seeking is already within you, because it is you. To understand this truth experientially, try this. Close your eyes for a moment and sense the aliveness within your body. Not your thoughts or emotions, but the subtle energy of your being. That's consciousness not as a concept, but as a living presence. When you connect with this, you'll notice that the mind begins to quiet, and a profound sense of peace takes its place. Tolle shares that this ultimate truth is what all spiritual teachings point to. Whether it's called enlightenment, awakening, or the realization of oneness, the essence is the same. Once you grasp this truth, life transforms. Fear diminishes because you realize there's nothing to defend. The ego fades because it's no longer needed to define you. And suffering dissolves because you're no longer resisting what is. The most profound part of this realization is not something you achieve. It's something you remember. It's been there all along, waiting for you to notice. So here's the question. Are you ready to step into this awareness? Once you do, you'll see that life isn't happening to you. It's happening as you. And with that, everything changes. Today, we've uncovered Eckhart Tolle's 7 mind-bending secrets about reality. From the illusion of time to the ultimate truth of consciousness, each insight has the power to shift your perspective and transform the way you experience life. But here's the real question. What will you do with this knowledge? These aren't just ideas to ponder. They're invitations to live differently. Take a moment to reflect on which of these truths resonated most with you. Was it the revelation about the pain body, the freedom of surrender, or perhaps the profound simplicity of living in the now? The journey doesn't end here. It's only just begun. Each step toward awareness is a step out of the invisible prison that Tolle describes. And as you move closer to the truth of who you are, life begins to open up in ways you never imagined. Here's one final thought to carry with you. Reality isn't something to resist, fear, or control. It's something to be embraced, experienced, and lived fully. And as you align with the present moment, you'll discover the peace, clarity, and joy that's been within you all along. If any of these secrets sparked something within you, share your thoughts in the comments. What insights did you have? What challenges are you facing? Let's continue this conversation and inspire each other to awaken to life's deeper truths. And don't forget, your next moment is waiting for you. Be present, be aware, and step into the freedom that comes with knowing the power of now.